Hey everybody, Napalminator here. I had several people ask me what my setup is like for fighting the raid bosses with Dragon's Vengeance 2. So, I'm going to talk about that. In this video, I'm just going to talk about Apollyon. Not going to talk about anybody else. This is just for Apollyon with Dragon's Vengeance 2. That's it. Not talking about any other boss. And this is focused towards that Dragon's Vengeance 2 attack. First of all, class-wise, I've played with kind of the three main attack melee classes. I've played with Ifrit, Arcanic, and Atlas Vanguard on here. And my best luck for Apollyon is with Atlas Vanguard. I found that Ifrit, his lack of hit points is just a little restricting. I spend too much time warding and Osmo striking, even with Life Siphon, which Ifrit has. I spend a lot of time on defensive stuff that I don't have to do with the other classes, simply because both Arcanic and Atlas Vanguard have 6,500, 7,000 hit points. My Ifrit only has 4,000 something hit points. That's a pretty significant difference. So even though Ifrit has better defenses, if Apollyon hits you for, say, 500 points, that's a much larger fraction of your total hit points on Ifrit than it is with Atlas Vanguard or Arcanic. So, I want to make Ifrit work on Apollyon, but I just can't seem to make it work as effectively as Atlas Vanguard. Now, as far as Atlas Vanguard goes versus Arcanic, first of all, my Atlas Vanguard weapon, my best Atlas Vanguard weapon, is vastly superior to my best Arcanic weapon. That could very easily change in the future, but for the moment, a like 250 point difference in the attack on your weapon is not something you can ignore, which makes my Atlas Vanguard way superior in terms of the amount of damage I can crank out. In addition, I'm finding that even before I got that weapon, which I did fairly recently, I'm finding that the automatic ward on Atlas Vanguard is really nice when you're getting things set up. Takes some of the stresses on defense away from getting set up with your buffs and stuff. So, Apollyon, I'm using Atlas Vanguard. Hey, that might change in the future with different gear or whatever, but for the moment, that's where I've had the best luck. Basically, with Atlas Vanguard, I can run Apollyon without too much stress, and it just becomes a waiting game until he throws Apocalypse at me. Other than that, I can run him as hard as I want without worrying at all. As far as equipment goes, here's my equipment. Here you go, people who fight me in wars. Here's my equipment. First of all, Master Forged Vulcan's Longsword, 11, I don't know if you can read that, 1174 attack, and also 288 resistance. Who cares about the mag stat? I don't have anything that good on Arcanic side. I don't have Aether's Blades, so that thing deals out some nice damage. I have a Whisper on there. I'm not warding with him at all. I don't need it. I can suck everything up and knock it to 0 or just Osmo Strike out of it. As much as I love ward, I don't need to ward on Apollyon right now. So I put the Whisper on for that tiny little extra boost on attack. If you're a lower level, if you need to ward, if he's hitting you pretty hard, probably not the best choice, but that's what I'm using right now. As far as armor stuff goes, I'm pretty biased towards defense. Here you can see Baylor helmet, cockatrice mail, and Doc boots. Baylor helmet is almost all defense. Cockatrice mail is almost all defense. A little bit of resistance. The Doc boots that might get me laughed at, but they give me a little bit of resistance. They're balanced. They are symmetrical in terms of defense and resistance, which is, somewhat useful. And I get some resistance from that Vulcan's longsword also. So that gives me enough resistance to not get completely knocked down by his magic attacks. As far as accessories go, I've got Arch Gadget, which prevents defense double down or resistance double down, so I can throw Bear's Might without worrying about it. And then previously I had the Arch Gizmo on, but I've got my skills tweaked so I don't need to use Golem's Fortitude. So I don't need Arch Gizmo anymore, so instead I put on this Fairy's Ring, which gives me a lot more mana. Gives me 361 mana, which means I can throw more skills without having to recharge my mana. So there's my setup. You could definitely bias this more towards being balanced, more towards an equal amount of defense or resistance. But this is working pretty good for me. It means I can just, when I get all my buffs up, I knock all of Apollyon's physical melee attacks down to 0, basically. I don't even have to stress those, and the magic attacks, they'll hit me, but they don't hit me so hard that I can't get out of them, basically. Now, going over to skills. Atlas Vanguard only has 8 skill slots, but I've got it tuned to where I have everything I need. First of all, first things I throw Protection 2 and Magic Shield 2. I used to have Golem's Fortitude here, but since my Vulcan's Longsword has fire on it, I don't need Fire Affinity anymore. So that freed up a slot for me. I already have Fire Affinity on my weapon, and since I'm Knight of Inferno, I already have that bonus. So that freed up a slot for me. So I took off Golem's Fortitude, I split it up into Magic Shield 2, Protection 2, and then that also allowed me to take off the Arch Gizmo. Next thing I'll throw after that in a fight is Bear's Might there, and then that's what the Arch Gadget is for, because Bear's Might will take your defenses way down, but with Arch Gadget you don't have to stress it. Not in here, but then I'll throw Attack Tonic and Speed Tonic. And I also have Great Yeti going with Apollyon, because he throws all those defensive buffs that keep me from getting hit too hard, and that's also a lot less skills that I have to worry about. Once I get my protective buffs up, I'll throw Omni Strikes. I will debuff Apollyon. I'll use Osmo Strikes as needed. I don't throw these Berserks here to the left on the screen. I don't throw those until I'm done Omni Striking, because my goal with Omni Striking is not to inflict damage, it's just to get him debuffed. Once I've got him debuffed, I throw my Berserks here, and then I start throwing Dragon's Vengeance too. And now, see if I can get a little demo. Hopefully this isn't planned at all. Hopefully I'm not going to get knocked down like instantly, but here we go. Okay, so like I said, first off, get my defenses up. Magic Shield 2, Protection 2, Bear's Might, get my attack up a little more, Gonna put my speed on. Okay, now I got all my basic buffs up. Now I'm just gonna Omni Strike him down. There we go. Defense down. Attack down. Excellent. I'm looking for magic down here. I don't care about resistance down because I don't use magic, nor does my Great Yeti. There we go. There's magic down now. He can't hit me as hard. I'm gonna throw an Osmo Strike. Get my health back up. And time to throw my Berserks up. Need some mana. Alright. Attack's up, defense is up, Berserk's up, and just double check. He has defense down, attack down, resistance down, mag down. Now it's time to roll in with Dragon's Vengeance, and that's it. And now it's just a game of throw Dragon's Vengeance at him. That's it. Till he hits me with something big, basically. Just gotta keep an eye on my health. As I said, I am berserking. Berserking with my current stats sucks almost 1,000 points per attack turn out of me. There we go, 988. So I gotta keep an eye on that. You gotta use Osmo Strikes pretty aggressively with this, because it sucks almost 1,000 points out of you every time you do something. And there we go. And yeah, until he throws his big fat apocalypse at me, I can just do this all night. I've already done 1,000,000 damage to him in, I don't know, what, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. Basically, when I get down to 2,500 or so on health, I try to throw an Osmo Strike. I've learned the hard way over the past several days. Osmo Strike can miss, so if you let yourself get too low and then you throw an Osmo Strike assuming that things will get better, you might be wrong. If you throw an Osmo Strike where you have 1,000 health left and it misses, and as you can see here, 988 is my berserk damage. So if you let yourself get below that, you throw an Osmo Strike and it misses, you just killed yourself probably. So any experienced berserker knows this, but for those of you who are new to the berserk strategy, don't let yourself get too low. Don't ride that line too hard. You might hose yourself. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep throwing 100,000 something points, 100 something thousand hits at him till he kills me. Oof, 239 health. There's an example of why you Be careful. I'm lucky I didn't bite it there. Oh man, 2.5 million damage. So that's 1.5 million damage, and since I last said something, what, 2-3 minutes ago? So that's a healthy 200 million XP already. I suppose some people might ask me, why are you using Osmo Strike 2 instead of Osmo Strike 3? Osmo Strike 3 is significantly more expensive mono-wise. Osmo Strike 2, I believe, is 90 points. Let me check here. 80. Osmo Strike 2 is only 80 points. Osmo Strike 3 is 150 points. So when you kind of get down to the bottom of your mono tank there, there can definitely be times when you might have, say, 100 mono points. That's not enough to throw Osmo Strike 3, but is enough to throw Osmo Strike 2. And I just like to kind of drain it to the bottom before I recharge, because I'm efficient like that. Maybe I don't need to be, but that's me. You can see it goes down to 97,000 damage sometimes. That's from his temporary defense up. You can see that was just the 107. But now he's got temporary defense up, and that was 97,000. And we're up to almost 3.5 million. I probably should have Osmo Strike there. Oh well. There we go. I'm running out of things to say here other than keep hammering him until he makes you take a dive. As you can see here, as long as I watch my health and I'm not stupid, I can do this all night. He's not throwing any debuffs on me. He's not doing anything I need to care about, basically. What am I at? 4.8 million. It's about half. Yeah, that's over. He's 9.4 million total. Half that is 4.7 million, so I'm already over half his damage in the time of this video. Whatever that is right now. 1.6 million. Probably should. That's why you don't. Again, this is why you don't ride that too low, depending on how your defenses are. You can get unlucky if you play that game a little too closely. I'm at 423 health points here. And again, I'm going to super health out of that just to be safe, and then Osmo out of it the rest of the way. Oops. Oh, here we go. The end is nigh. This is probably it. I'll defend just for fun, not that it makes much difference. And he missed. Well, alright. Thanks. And that's why you put that speed potion on. You never know when that miss is going to help you out. If you're watching here, you can see he's... Pay attention to what he's using for skills on me. See there, he used riposte, and he did 0 damage to me because I have fat defense. There's a miss. Riposte 0. He likes riposte a lot. That's kind of why I bias towards defense personally. You're free to disagree with me, but he really likes riposte. So if you can knock that down to nil, that's a lot of turns. How many turns has he just used that in a row? Like 6? Omni Strike 3 did something to me at least, but nothing catastrophic. Another riposte. And I'm immune to Holy Strike, so that doesn't matter at all. He throws both magic and physical attacks. She can't go all the way on one side, but I mean, if you're paying attention here the past minute, you can see how much he likes riposte. Oh, here's another end is nigh. Dead. But almost 7 million damage, and while I went in on him 13 minutes ago. It says Gamby Jones in 47 minutes. The timer starts at the beginning of that, and that was with setup and me blabbing and stuff. So that was 7 million out of 9.4 million. That's what, around 75%-ish, 70%, something like that, in roughly 10 minutes. Somebody else on Discord, Nonex, he said he was doing 5-minute runs. He's a much higher level player than me, has better gear, hitting him for bigger hits. But yeah, this is how you can do 15-ish minute runs on Apollyon. There you go. Enjoy. Happy grinding, everybody.